Hello. Today is March 11th, 2011, 311 day, for those of you who are into that. And yesterday was exactly 1 year on T for me, because I started March 10th, 2010. We had a little party last night at a local bar. It's pretty fun. A lot of people were out of town or were underage, so not everybody could be there. But it was really great. I got some fun gifts, a little 1-year-old birthday card or something, and I just think it's kind of cool. I'm really happy that all my friends could be there, and we called it a Traniversary party. And it just so happens that a bunch of people in this community, because Pittsburgh actually does have a pretty strong FTM community, are going to be starting T in the next month or two, and sort of like kicking off for them as well. So it's interesting, but I want to explain that I am not really as much of a douchebag as my videos would sort of portray me, because I do intend always to keep making videos. Just things have happened, and like I got pneumonia actually in January, and I was out for about 3 weeks, missing school. I was not even in Pittsburgh. I went home for about a week. I was really sick. And apparently I fooled a doctor with my chest, because at some point he was like, "Have you had surgery on your chest?" And I was like, "No." But he then kept referring to my chest like as residual breast tissue, as if I had had surgery, so I don't know if he heard me. But apparently my chest is higher than a lot of female-bodied people, so it just looks like a normal chest with a little bit of breast tissue, I guess. And somehow they thought that they had mistaken some of that tissue for pneumonia. So yeah, I gained the nickname Pneumonia Tits from my friends, so that was fun. But apparently I could fool a doctor, so it's interesting. I also, last week, there were some issues with my degree and graduation, and I got fired, and things have been a mess academically. I'm doing well, however, there are other issues that would have helped, and my thesis is not getting written now, and I worked for 2.5 years on it, so it's kind of upsetting. I don't know, it's been a long time. Like, you think a year, and it doesn't feel like it's been a year. However, so much has changed, not just because of my transition, but my life has changed dramatically. The people I'm around, the things that I talk about, what I'm involved in, is completely different than it was a year ago. A lot of the most important people in my life now I met in this past year. People that I know they're going to be with me for a really long time. And people that I thought were going to be with me for a really long time before are no longer in my life. I was just sitting on the couch the other day thinking about it. Like, wow, I cannot believe what has happened in the past year. I've moved around 5 different times and had to go to court for this, and I was suing someone else. And had to fight for this thing and that thing, and ended up being homeless for about a week and a half, and my parents coming so much further, and being able to understand a little bit more, and my brother actually wanting to speak to me, and myself realizing that in pushing these boundaries of my own gender, I realized that there are none, and applying that to my life in general, that I don't have to do anything for anyone. And as stupid as that sounds, and as basic as that sounds, I think that's become a large part of my life, that philosophy of I don't have to do anything for anyone else if it hurts me, if I don't want to. And it's been a long time getting there. I'm kind of sick of the idea of, I'm sick of college, because that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm doing this for someone else. I'm getting these grades. I'm doing work for someone else. Necessarily, like, it's not what I want to be doing, and I want to be out of it for a while. And I don't know what's next. I don't know where I'll go. But it's not like everything's been really, really positive over the past year, but in general, I'm a more stable, more content person. I feel real. It's a real life I'm living now, and not pretend. I don't have to act for anyone else. And I'm so much happier when I'm interacting with other people, and even looking at myself. And that's really it when it came down to it, is can I look at myself at night, stripped of everything, and be happy? And I can do that now, and I can smile back at myself. And everything has been worth that. It's all been worth it for this. So I guess physical changes over the past year, I think I've moved the camera, have been pretty dramatic. And again, it's something you really don't pick up on, but people will tell you, and you're like, no, it hasn't changed that much. But apparently it has. I have a crap load of hair all over my body except for my face. I have like nothing, maybe a couple dark hairs and some peach fuzz, but I don't really see that changing actually, just because I'm extremely hairy everywhere else. And especially my stomach and chest, but I always get rid of that, like I said. My legs are absurdly hairy. I have hobbit feet. And the hair on my head actually is much coarser than it was before, and it's a little bit wavier actually. It used to be very, very straight and thin, and it's a little bit thicker and kind of has a little wave to it now. I have nothing in my hair right now, and this would never happen before. My acne's been acting up for 2 weeks now. For a while, in the beginning it was bad. In the middle it was fine, and it's kind of off and on. It gets bad, on one side of my face. I've gained 25 pounds in the last year, and it's been really cool to see how my shoulders and arms just kind of explode, and I've actually gotten smaller, kind of, in the waist, I think. I went from a 30 or a 31 to a 28, sometimes 27, depending on the brand of jeans. More often a 28, though. And my hips are pretty much gone. It's very dramatic shape change, and it's kind of neat. I had kind of that shape before. It just kind of magnified. I think I said kind of 5 times in that sentence. I'm sorry. My voice has changed a lot. I would have never thought I had a high voice before, but I don't think I did. It's just, in comparison, I have a pretty deep voice now. And I think it's still continuing to change. I still squeak sometimes, and part of that might be because I play with my voice a lot and manipulate it and make it do funny things all the time. So, who knows? My facial structure itself has definitely changed. And this is something that was one of the harder things for me to realize, even though I've been looking at my own face every day and looking for things. I feel like it's thicker in general. My jaw is widened, but it looks to me like my face it's healthier, I had a very gaunt looking face before, I think, and that was one of the things that bothered me. There's so much, and I know I'm forgetting things, and it's hard to describe all of the changes that have happened. Because not all of the physical changes are visible. There's obviously the growth in the genital area that happens, and that's been kind of fun, and the changes with sex drive, and that's all true for me. It changes the way you think about sex and about your partners. Or maybe it brings it to the forefront more, is what I'm trying to say. And it's been very good for me to get in touch with a part of myself, my sexuality, that I really hadn't felt comfortable with. And I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. Dating still is kind of tough. There are issues, and being trans is not the only issue that I have to deal with dating. Because of meltdowns and things like that, and little freaking out episodes for Asperger's. Like it's kind of demanding sometimes on people, and I'm in a period right now where I have to readjust the way I deal with things, because I'm feeling things a little differently than I used to. Sometimes I feel like it's more intense, but for shorter periods of time. And now it's not that I'm freaking out, and this could just be like my getting better. I'm not freaking out randomly anymore. I can pinpoint specific little things and not let them build up. But I can pinpoint the things that specifically make me angry in that moment, and that prevents me from having a complete fucking tantrum, basically. And it may seem like things are happening a lot more often now, but I'm just slowly learning to deal with things differently, and that's really good for me. I'm gonna do that really annoying thing where I pick this up again. Okay. Apparently you can do 15-minute videos, so I have a couple more minutes. I don't want to make this incredibly long, but apparently it will be. Because it is the 1 year, and a lot has changed, and I want to know what comes next, you know. And obviously I plan on doing some kind of surgery with my chest, but I can't afford it right now, and name change has been kind of a hassle. Freaked out, actually, about that. It wasn't very terrible, it was just enough, and people were not really helping the situation. And that didn't get done when I wanted it to, and it's going to take a lot longer, and I'm worried about graduating with the wrong name on my diploma. And I'm doing the best that I can, but it's pissing me off. As far as after graduation, like I said, I had these plans to go to med school and do all of this, and then I had plans to be a social worker, and now I think I just don't want to do school for a while. I want to know how I function in the world outside of that, and maybe it'll help me figure out what I want to do. But from the stuff I've had to deal with in the last 2-3 years, it's looking more and more like I will be working in this community, the community that helped me become who I am, and I'm going to explore those options a little more. So I want to close with this idea that I have to, firstly, like I said before, the FTM community in Pittsburgh is actually pretty strong, and there are a lot of us, and a lot of us with very different stories, very different interpretations of our own gender, and I think what I'm going to be doing is interviewing them, doing a video for each one of them, just to get you kind of idea of kind of people I'm with, and that there are many, many different stories out there, and all in one place even. And I was wondering if you guys wanted any specific questions asked of these friends of mine, and they'll tell you if they won't answer them, trust me. Coming up with a few myself, but just want to give you an opportunity to ask questions of other trans men. So thank you. I will be putting up a video of pictures and voice change crap eventually, but I just wanted to get this out there, and happy 1 year to me.